Well, hello and welcome to Transform Tuesday. I'm Dave McCormick, VP of Product Management here at Alpha Software, and I'm joined today by Sarah Mitchell, Head of Documentation. And today we are kicking off a brand new series, might go 5 or 6 parts, and it is on the Transform programming language. So let's get started. Move down here to my slide. And Sarah, just can you make sure that, or let me know if my screen is coming through? I don't think I hit share yet, so that probably isn't working. All right, can you see my screen now is my question.
Yes, I can.
Fantastic, great. So let's talk about TPL. We've been covering a lot of other things and we've sort of, but we haven't really talked about the Transform programming language for a little while. Now, Transform, of course, is meant to do a lot of stuff out of the box. I mean, you can collect data, you can kick off workflows, you can conditionally hide fields, we allow you to capture and annotate images, you can route forms, you could jump to different sections of the form. You can do an awful lot of stuff without any programming at all. And if you connect it up to Zapier and you use them as a service, there's even more you can do, all basically programming free. And that's intentional because we want to make sure, because programming does take some time. It requires some debugging and stuff like that. Anything that can be done using pre-tested code is always terrific. But there are definitely cases that you will run into where you say, this I've got a very specialized case, and Transform out of the box doesn't quite do what I need to do. So I would like to modify it. So our goal here, though, at Alpha is to make sure that happens as little as possible. So definitely, when you keep us in the loop and say, wow, I wish Transform did this, or I wish Transform did that, your suggestions are taken very seriously and are added into the software. So ideally, you will be writing as little TPL as possible. Now, I say all that, but of course, I'm now going to be kicking off a 5-part series on something you should be doing as little as possible. But anyway, let's jump into it. So the first part today has to do with basically what is the Transform programming language and where can you use it? What does it do? Where can you find it? So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to start with, just pop down to my next slide, the top 3 TPL uses. So I'm going to say the top 3, there are others, but the top 3 are performing calculations, doing database lookup, and embedding business logic. So let's talk about the first one, performing calculations. Often when I give an example of a calculation, it's something like quantity times price, some sort of simple multiplicative calculation. But actually, TPL has got quite a lot more it can do besides multiplication. I mean, there are functions that are built in, sort of out of the box here, that allow you to do calculations for finance, for engineering. There are trigonometric functions in here. You can calculate the distance between 2 points. So let's say you took a picture, or sorry, you took a lat long reading at one place and then went off to a different place. You could see how far the distance was between those 2 areas using TPL. So let's take a look at our next case, which are database lookups. Now, database lookups are great if you need to carry like a little reference manual with you. Maybe you want to know what your current product inventory is. Or maybe when you're filling out something on a phone, you want it to be smart. So example, if you're filling out information about a car, you might enter in the make of the car and have it automatically know what the model and the year and the styles are available for that particular manufacturer. That can all be done using on-device databases, but it becomes even more powerful when you couple that on-device database with barcode scanning. So you might look up a product, for example, that is in your inventory, or let it know that it's arrived at a certain location. That can be done using the onboard database and just a little bit of TPL programming. All right, next use case is embedded business logic. This is actually a huge deal. Primarily, we think of embedded business logic for doing things like data validation. So for example, you enter in a number that's out of range and it could say, yeah, that doesn't seem right. Or maybe a value is out of range based on 2 other values that you had entered in previously, and it's doing some sort of comparison. So this is really great at stopping errors during data collection right out of the field. So you don't have to send a field service worker back out to confirm some sort of reading or things like that. But now data validation isn't the only side of embedded business logic. You can also do some sorts of automatic escalation, workflow kickoff, for example. Let's say you were doing a safety inspection and you discovered on the manufacturing floor that you had found a piece of equipment is unsafe. You could have TPL automatically send a message out to a supervisor or automatically send out an alert that this machine needs to be taken out of service and repaired. So that's all stuff that can be done with data validation. Now, those are the top 3 uses, but there are some other examples as well that people use TPL for. For example, you might want to use it to launch an instructional video. Maybe you're working, again, in a repair situation and you're opening up a repair manual for a device that maybe you've just scanned using the barcode scanner. Or maybe your app requires you to send out service vans that go from location to location. You could have it open up the driving directions app in the person's smartphone, whether that's the one from Apple or Android or Waze or any of those. You can actually launch that right from TransForm using TPL. And then last but certainly not least is the ability to connect to web APIs. Of course, this requires online connection because it's a web API. But you can do all kinds of cool things. One thing in particular, which I found neat, was a customer had used it to take to use an OCR type of service. So they're taking a picture of the outside, I believe it's of a rail car, and the rail car has got boxed letters on the outside of the box cars. So like maybe it says RJ7442. And it's up to the engineer to type in, or sorry, the inspector to type in that code. Well, you could also take a picture of it and have an OCR service sort of confirm that you typed in the thing correctly and save the person some time and actually increase accuracy. And there are a million other reasons to use OCR and, for that matter, web services as well. Okay, so hopefully some of these use cases sound appealing to you, and you might be asking, okay, that's great, but where do I use TPL? How do I use TPL? I mean, when you look through, you go into TransForm Central and you go poking around in the designer and stuff, it isn't really clear where is this TPL stuff hiding. So we've actually kind of kept it away from the average user. But I know everyone on this call is way beyond the average user and is interested in getting into TPL. So I'm going to show you where to find it and how to do some basic TPL stuff. So let's begin. TPL can be used in two types of places, I guess, or 2 areas. One is you can use it in form commands themselves. So you're in the form designer and you're building a form design and you're entering in or adding an HTML block, for example, or maybe an if command. Both of those are places where you can use where you can use TPL. And I'm going to show you an example of that in an HTML block in just a minute. And the second place, and probably a very common place, is in the TPL Editor, which is built into TransForm Central. And this is where you wire up code snippets to certain events that fire. For example, when someone changes the value of a field or somebody submits a record, you can have an event that fires and runs some sort of TPL code. So today we're not going to go too far into the TPL editor because that's going to be for next week, I believe, but we are going to show you a couple of simple TPL examples that you can do today just using the HTML blocks and the if editor. And I will in fact show you the TPL editor, but just a little bit. So let's get going. Let me open up dashboard. Before I go any further, do we have any questions that need to be answered? Looks like that questions window is blank. That is good or bad, I'm not sure. So let's pop into TransForm here. So here I am in Alpha TransForm. Let's go back home. And I'm going to go into the designer and let me get out of this view. And you'll see I have created a very simple form here called test TPL form. I'm going to double click on it and show you what the commands are. I basically have got 2 fields. I have field 1 and I have field 2, and then I have field 3, which I'm going to delete. And this third field is actually just an HTML block. So typically you could do whatever, like this is HTML, and you'll see it appears here in my preview window. But it can also do other types of HTML, like you could say, now, sorry, that's HTML, but you can insert TPL by using curly braces. So I'm going to put in some curly braces, and I'm going to say 1 plus 1, and it's going to evaluate that, and if my math is correct, we get 2. The other thing you can do is you can actually have it refer to fields. So in this case, I could say field 1 plus # field 2. That's how you refer to fields, is by putting a £, and that's the name of my field, field 1 and field 2. And, whoops, that would normally calculate to 4 had I entered 2 and 2 into these fields. However, right now, as far as the system is concerned, these fields are blank. These are just preview values so that you see what it looks like on the screen, but they're not actually used for TPL reasons. So if you put some TPL in here and you refer to some fields, it'll work when you run it on a phone, but it may not, but it will not always work or work the way you expect when you're looking at it here in the preview window. So don't worry about that. Just go ahead and launch on the phone and you'll see that it does in fact work. Now, here are some other things that you can do. That's really simple math, but we have, like, for example, a random function. So let's say random. And I'm going to just click off here. And look, it's given me a random number. Well, that's a small one. Let's say I want you to do a random number that was between 1 and 10. So I'm going to multiply that times 10. Oops. Just stay in the curly brackets. Times 10. And there I've got a number between 1 and 10, although it's a long, kind of ugly number with a lot of decimals at the end of it. So let's round that number. Yes, we have a function called round, which will handle this for us. And voila, there's 2. And now I could just keep going and adding more and more fun TPL expressions. In fact, I'll do another one in just a minute. Let me switch pages here. But let me just show you another place that you can use TPL, and that would be in an if block. So let's say I used an if statement. And here, in fact, it shows you that you're using TPL. This is probably the most obvious place that you'll see TPL is when you're doing an if block. Things in the if block only appear to the user if the statement, if the test comes out to be true. So if test equals true, whatever, right? But what you could do is you could say if this field is equal to that field, if the status of the form is open, if a particular field is set to yes and another particular field is above 14. Here are some of the examples that you could put in to your statement and have TPL evaluate that. You could also use functions here as well. And you can do a whole bunch of things in your if statements. Now, before we go too crazy writing HTML here in these if blocks and back in this HTML block, let's go back and let's show you a better place to do that, and that is in the TPL Editor. So we're going to go there right now. So I'll save commands as well, and we're going to go back here, and here's how you get to the TPL Editor. So if you've never been here, it's a little bit hidden. So the way you do it is you choose your particular form while you're in the designer, and then in properties you scroll down, and by default you're going to see this is set to no. It says enable custom code for this form type. You're going to want to click yes, and then you're going to click this button, edit custom code, and voila, a code editor appears. Now I'm going to go over how all of this works and how the events work and how to use the fields and stuff like that in a future session. But there is one thing that I want to show you right away, and that is a really great way for testing out your functions and expressions, maybe before you even use them in an HTML block, because we have a nice quick tester here. And so this is our tester, which you can use for testing functions, which we don't have any of. But down here, there's this area called single line. And single line lets us do the things like we did before. Like, for example, I could say random, execute. And there's my result. So this is really a great way. If you've used Alpha Anywhere, for example, we have a thing called the interactive window, which people often use to make sure that they get their expressions right before they use it in proper code. And this little tester here is great for that. So before you use it in an HTML block or an if block or in a function here, you might want to test a certain line out right here by using this single line execution. So that's kind of cool, but let me show you one more sort of more advanced one. Show you we've got real functions. Oops, didn't mean to open that, meant to open this. Copy. We're going to go back here. Wait it. Sorry about that. Go away. Okay. So here's sort of a more advanced function. This is the date difference, and it gives us back weeks and days from today's date to Christmas. How many weeks are there till Christmas? Quick, let's see if anyone can guess. I'm going to go ahead and execute this and we'll know. There are 43 more weeks until then. So that's just one of the many functions that you'll find. You'll find them over here in the functions section. Let me go back to the code editor. And here we've got functions. Get this out of the way. And we've got, that explains that we actually have a function list right here, which is all organized by type. So lots of fun stuff to get into, but not for today. Today was just a demonstration of what TPL can do, or an explanation of what TPL can do, how to get to it, and how to get to the editors. Next week, we're going to dive into the TPL editor, and we're going to have some more concrete examples. If there's anything in particular that you would like to do with TPL, and you'd like to see us incorporate that in a webinar, go ahead and send an email to tfservice@alphasoftware.com. You can also just ask for general questions at tfservice as well. So that wraps it up for today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining me for another Transform Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you all at next Tuesday's webinar. Take care, stay well. Oh, and Sarah, thanks very much for joining today. Talk to you later.